Hey YouTubers, Grimmy Dragon here, and once again it's review time. And today we are taking a look at the Transformers Siege Ultra Magnus. I know it's about time I got to this guy. I mean, he's a Wave 1 leader class, along with Shockwave. And yeah, about time we got a look. Anyway, going through it real quick. You've got Ultra Magnus here. That kind of car carrier style trailer here. But yeah, very nice. It's very reminiscent of RID 2001 Ultra Magnus, Car Robots God Magnus. It's a very RID styled vehicle mode, especially with the cab and the way it mixes in with the trailer. And that's not bad. And it's a nice look. It really does work for him, and it feels like Ultra Magnus. So you got the missiles, you got the gun on top, you got these guns. So he's armed to the teeth. And the colors are just right. It's the darker blue, not the very light blue that we're used to seeing, but it does work out. Now for comparisons, we'll bring in a couple other Magnuses. We'll start with the classics Magnus with the Fans Project City Commander armor / trailer. And yeah, that's a very interesting combination. They look pretty good together. We'll bring in Combiner Wars, which pretty much had Magnus integrated. The cab was integrated with the vehicle mode and the robot mode entirely. This is pretty cool. And this is the more G1 vehicle style Magnus, although his robot mode is very IDW. And speaking of G1, let's bring this one out here. We would be remiss if we didn't bring in G1 Ultra Magnus. And yeah, as you can see, very, very different. Like I said, this is more like this than this, but it still looks pretty good. So anyway, get these guys out of the way. In fact, I'll make this quick. Yeah, so Magnus looks really good, and this is one of the better versions of the toy, like the character, so this is a really good toy of him. But in that case, we should probably start transformations, and this is, since there's a lot to talk about, I'm just going to start by getting this trailer off. And that's pretty easy. Those just clip on to these things on the side. And then there's this thing that catches on the very back. And you got Magnus's truck mode, just the cab, which is pretty cool. I'm very happy to see that. And it's nice to see that they got the whole cab mode, which is good. And yeah, nothing else really to speak of here. You do see the hands on the back. But we also have, we'll do the comparisons. Get in Classics Magnus. G1 Magnus. And just for fun, Minimus Ambus, who's tiny next to the rest of these guys. He's smaller than a Micromaster, so keep that in mind. But yeah, the various forms of Magnus without his armor. So without further ado, let's just get to transforming this guy. And that's going to be simple. We're starting with just the cab, and then we'll power them up. So just going to pull these apart and down, nice and clicky. Love those ratchets. Flip out these heel spurs so you can stand. Rotate this out. So maybe I want to pull that down just to make it easier. And then rotate the waist around. Slide this up. Then push the chest in as far as it'll go. I think we're there. Put that back up. And before we lock in the arms, we pull the chest out, flip up the head. That. Bring down the arms and rotate the wrists. And there we have Ultra Magnus. Hopefully I got that all in frame in his basic robot mode, aka White Prime. Or as Grimlock likes to call him, Little Prime. And if you're wondering why I called it White Prime, well, you need glasses because look at him. He is a solid snowball white Optimus Prime. I mean, it's kind of a dull color scheme when you think about it. Just, you know, he's like he's in a white onesie with a blue T on his chest. Seriously, it's a little dull. I do like the face. I like that blue mouth plate and, you know, the little bit of blue on the top. The red eyes are nice. They show pretty well. Of course, you got the Autobot symbol, which is good. There's a little bit of silver dirt on his thighs. That's about it. He's not really colorful. And unfortunately, that's a bit of a detriment. A little more color for this guy would have done him wonders. Just saying, this is just very basic. But, you know, it's also G1 accurate. Because, yeah, G1 Ultra Magnus was the White Prime as well. Literally a solid white repaint of Optimus Prime. And you really need that red and blue on this guy to really make him pop. I mean, the only thing that pops about this guy is the face. That's it. But, yeah, we'll get him out of the way for a moment. Do a little articulation. You got a ball jointed head, which is great. Nice universal shoulders. Bicep swivel. 90 at the elbow and wrist swivel. You do have a waist joint. Got nice, very clicky ratcheted hips. They're universal. They don't click when you go out though. No thigh swivel. Okay, you do have thigh swivel. It's right at the hip, which is good. 90 at the knee. Ankle pivot. But no forward backward at the ankle. Kind of sad, but what can you do? Now, as far as armaments go, you can give him any of the weapons that Magnus had on that trailer of his. Like these 2 guns. which kind of help. And I like the silver paint. Yeah, he's a bit on the dull side. I'm gonna have to say it. I don't see many people putting him out as this version of Magnus. But for other comparisons, let's bring in the classics 2006 Ultra Magnus. And this, if he was colored like this, where he has the blue legs, a little bit of blue on his forearms, and black hands, this looks better. I mean, this is a much better color scheme. It pops. You can actually, like, it's an actual color scheme and not just one color. I would have preferred if he had this kind of face, but I'm splitting hairs here. I do like the classics Magnus color scheme better. That's just my opinion. But for fun, let's bring in Minimus Ambus, who was the little guy in the big Ultra Magnus suit for Combiner Wars and IDW. And yeah, that's an interesting idea too. Little dude with green, and he has a goatee. That's pretty cool. But yeah, this Magnus is a little on the dull side, so it's unfortunate, but what can you do? Anyway, I guess it's time we put that armor on him. We bring the trailer in. Take these guns off. We could actually keep them on through the transformation, but let's just make it easier on ourselves. And zoom out. We're going to start by getting him ready. So, actually pretty easy. But you do want to... I say it's easy, and this thing doesn't want to cooperate. But yeah, you want to tuck the head back in. Push this out. And push that down. Push it back in. Because you want that on the butt. So I want to pull this out and flip it around for a more Magnus-y belt. Put those in place. Yeah, flip in the heel spurs because they'll get in the way. And he's ready to go. And he's not going to stand while those heel spurs are down. So, moving on. Just pull out the guns. First, we got to take this apart. It's a parts former. It's armor. What do you expect? Yeah, we'll pull these off. Yeah. Don't want it to get away. Now, the hard part is getting these side panels off because they are in there tight. Get these off, get those apart, get this apart. And yeah, we got all our pieces. A big old mess of parts. Yeah, this guy is very parts formery. That's not a bad thing. So we just fold these. So we take this and then we fold it in. Fold it like that. Fold it in like that. Got that ready. In, fold, fold, done. This gets folded back. This gets folded in like that. So we're done there. Put these gray bits up. Likewise. And all our parts are ready, which will make this easier. So we'll start by putting these boots on. Get his big old Magnus boots. And we'll just put this on his back. Nice big thing here, like this clip goes right on that spine. So we'll just keep it like that for now. These will just slide in. Sides. Give them those classic shoulder pylons. There we go. And yeah, he's pretty much on roller skates right now, so you gotta be careful. Flip these armor bits out. They go right over the arms, like so. Rinse and repeat on the other side. Just open up, slide on, and pop that in. Now you just flip this down, flip this in, and last but not least, put his shoulder missiles on. And yeah, I do it like the peg is on top. Just gives him a more grounded look. Give him his gun. And I put these guns on his ankles. You know, he can draw them whenever he wants. And there you have Magnus all done in his full powered robot mode. And yeah, this is the Magnus that everybody wanted. This very nice G1 looking Ultra Magnus. Looks almost exactly like he did back in the cartoons. So yes, this is the one we wanted. This is what we are happy with. He is awesome looking. And oh, I love it. I love it. And yes, pretty much the same articulation as the little prime mode. So the head's on the ball joint. Yeah, you got the universal shoulders. The missiles might get in the way a little bit, but not by much. All the other joints are exactly the same. They're the same prime joints. So, although the ankles do have, these ankle armor bits do have the same pivot, which is good. So I'm not going to go through the articulation again. But yeah, you can see good weapon storage. You can put those guns on the shins, which is great. You got the missiles. You got the gun. He looks great. I am very happy. And that face. Yeah, that is a good Magnus face. Kind of wish he had the shades, but it's still a good Magnus face, so I'm happy with it. And all in all, the look is great. So let's do some comparisons. We'll start off with the 2006 City Commander. And yeah, he's a little bulkier, but I do like this new one a little bit better. This is a really good Magnus, though, if you manage to get it. Still holds up quite well. He's bulky, he doesn't really pose well, but it is a good look. And then we gotta get in Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus, who is significantly taller than the others. You know, he's an older leader class. This is a leader class, but the new Siege ones are shorter. That's the big downer. The leader classes are shorter because they're more like armored warriors than, you know, big, tall guys. So yeah, he's a little bit bigger than a Voyager. His little prime mode was a Voyager. But yeah, we'll also gotta bring in, get classics out of the way, G1 Ultra Magnus, who again looks a lot bigger than this guy, and that's just because it's a prime trailer standing up. What do you expect? So you can see the colors match Combiner Wars Magnus a little more, although this one definitely has more of that G1 Magnus feel. He is more IDW, which isn't bad, you know. A lot of people like IDW Magnus. Like I like the Plus Light. So yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah, I am very happy to have this guy. He's a really wonderful figure. And if you got those like all the movie accurate or cartoon accurate season 3 guys, he is a wonderful addition to that set, and I couldn't recommend him anymore. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications, all that good stuff. It really does help the channel. And I will see you guys next time. So until then, take care.